Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you the NYCC 2024 Marvel and DC announcements. Now, I know at the New York Comic Con that they've got all different kinds of stuff and announcing all different kinds of things, but I'm going to stick mainly to the Marvel and DC kind of comic stuff that we got out of here. And there's some interesting stuff, man. Let's get down to it. So, we got some big stuff for Marvel. We've got this kind of Marvel's premiere collection thing going on, launching for like Daredevil, Black Panther, Captain America, and Fantastic Four, kind of focusing on Daredevil's Born Again, Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet, let's see, Captain America Winter Soldier, and Fantastic Four Solve Everything. These are pretty much two are like important kind of arcs for these characters to kind of give you an understanding of what's going on. I do think that that's a good thing for Marvel to do. The Fantastic Four, of course, focusing on Jonathan Hickman's. I do need to read those at a certain point. Captain America Winter Soldier by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. That's a great one. Not that well-versed with Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet, or Daredevil Born Again, but these are kind of like important ones for you to kind of like, for important kind of arcs for these characters to kind of collect with them, and I'm like, yes, do that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright. And new Astonishing Infinity Comics line launches on Marvel Unlimited. Astonishing Spider-Man, X-Men, and Avengers stories. Let's see. Both issues 1 and 2 available now to read for free, no login required for a limited time. Let's see. Astonishing Spider-Man by Scott Aukerman, Spider-Man Unlimited Infinity comic, Comedy Bang Bang, and drawn by Salva Espin, X-Men 97, and Wuyan Shaw, Strange Academy, Moon Knight. In this new series, of course, issues are going on with Spider-Man's life. Let's see. And this is Pete, and it kind of like, whether you're a regular reader of Spidey or you've never read a single comic featuring the old wall crawler before, there'll be something in Astonishing Spider-Man for you, Aukerman teased to Marvel.com. I wanted to start our book by putting Peter into a terrible situation which doesn't have any easy outs, and let's just say it gets worse as it goes along. It's the kind of thing that is going to really make Peter Parker examine why he does what he does, and whether she should continue doing it. And then X-Men and Avengers in January 2025. Avengers being helmed by Steve Orlando and artist Francisco Archidiacono. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Followed by writers Alex Packnadell and Tim Seeley and artist Philip Seavey on Astonishing X-Men. So that's kind of interesting. That's a really kind of cool looking cover there. Oh, and then X-Men and Avengers. Ooh, interesting. Jackets. Avenger jackets. Alright. Another big one is that Marvel Comics announces Ultimate Wolverine series at New York Comic Con. Chris Kondo and Alessandro Capusico's Ultimate Wolverine launches in January 2025. Let's see. That's kind of big to be doing Ultimate Wolverine in regards with that. Let's see. And Chris Condon's written That Texas Blood, Venom War, Daredevil, and of course Alessandro Capusico. I'm sorry for mispronouncing. Capuchico has drawn Moon Knight. True to the character's origin as a government weapon, Ultimate Wolverine is an unwilling agent of the Maker, the secret creator of this corrupt universe. Mind-wiped and used as an assassin, he's still the best there is at what he does, even if he's not in control of who he does it to. When Will Moss called me and asked me if I wanted to take on this title, I jumped at the chance and immediately had an idea of what to do with it, said Condon. I'm bringing my essence of storytelling from That Texas Blood to the Marvel Universe with Wolverine, looking back at what came before and bringing us something new. You might notice there's a red star on his costume, and you might wonder why, he continued. If you look at that mask, there's a muzzle on him, and that's because he's wild. In order to maintain control of their corner of the Maker's world, 3 members of his council, Magic, Colossus, and Omega Red. Shit, that's a big cadre there. I like trifecta on that. Deploy their most lethal asset, the Winter Soldier, but who is the weapon behind the mask? Before Ultimate Wolverine arrives in January, readers will see him in action for the first time in a prelude story by Condon and Capusco in Ultimate Universe 1 year in issue 1, the special one-shot that concludes the first year of Marvel's new Ultimate Universe and sets up the next year of stories, including the Maker's long-awaited return. And then we get a really cool-looking cover there. So it'll be interesting to see how Wolverine being the Winter Soldier and being controlled by those three and what they're kind of doing for that. That is on sale January 15th, Ultimate Wolverine. So that's a big one. We'll see how that kind of works out. The other big thing is One World Under Doom. Marvel Comics unveils Rise of Emperor Doom series. Ryan North, who's been writing Fantastic Four, and R.B. Silva's Rise of Emperor Doom, a 5-issue event series tied to the upcoming One World Under Doom status quo, launches in February. So that's going to be interesting. And it was, of course, first teased at San Diego Comic-Con. Is an overarching status quo shift coming to the Marvel Comics, the likes of which we haven't seen since 2008's Dark Reign. Interesting, so we'll have to see how that works out. Dark Reign did some interesting kind of things. Spinning out of Blood Hunt, where Doctor Doom manipulated Doctor Strange into passing him the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme, One World Under Doom sees Doom accomplish his ultimate goal at last as he uses his new power to take over the entire world. It's a shocking and upending turn of events that will impact Marvel's entire line of comics and see the launch of tie-in series and one-shots collectively forming an era worthy of comic books' greatest supervillain. It'll be anchored in by a core title launching in February, Rise of Emperor Doom. Goes into pretty much Ryan North and R.B. Silva. While Doom's reign will be felt across the Marvel Universe, Rise of Emperor Doom will take readers behind the mask as they bear witness to the triumphs and trials of Doom's rule, as well as foolish attempts to topple it. So this will be kind of interesting to see what Doom's goals are as Sorcerer Supreme, and what heroes are going to do to either help him or stop him. 6 months ago, Victor Von Doom became Sorcerer Supreme, then disappeared behind Latveria's closed borders. For most, there's enough going on in the world that Doom's absence is not a priority, and some time without him feels like a blessing. Only a few recognize it for what it truly was. The calm before the storm. It is a storm that has now arrived. The world has woken up to a new reality. Dr. Doom, or Sorcerer Supreme, has magically taken over every broadcast medium on the planet and declared himself Emperor of the world. Of course, yeah, that's Doom shit right there. The ruler of a new united Latveria, and shockingly and possibly all of Earth's leaders seem to be going along with this. I mean, he did become Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, he's probably had intel and shit. I mean, utilizing magic, tech, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Luckily, whether it's mind control or Doombots, whatever's affecting them hasn't affected Earth's heroes, so they quickly form a strike team to topple Doom's machinations. But will they succeed, and what happens when some begin to welcome their new Emperor with open arms, clamoring for one world under Doom? And this just really is a kind of crazy-ass cover there. Damn. That is on sale February 12th. One World Under Doom is the umbrella impacting not just the rise of Emperor Doom, but the entire Marvel Universe, Brever explained. To the Avengers, Spider-Man, and more, Doom is going to impact every corner of the universe for 2025. That makes sense, especially since 8 Deaths of Spider-Man is pretty much contingent on Doom. So we'll have to see how this is going to be planned out. I mean, I know we've got our editors and everything, Robert, CB Bluski. Let's see here. Yeah, CB Sabluski. But we'll have to see if somebody's, like, overarchingly handling this. One World Under Doom sees Dr. Doom coming out of Latveria and overnight taking over the world, North said. Every country is a province of a united Latveria, and everyone answers to Doom. He's going to make some changes. He gets to show the world that he's the greatest at what he does, and that might not be great for people not named Victor Von Doom. Yep. Check out Ben Harvey's main cover for The Rise of Emperor Doom, Issue 1, a promotional piece by Greg Land, interior artwork. Stay tuned for more news about the event in weeks ahead. So, we'll have to really see what's going on. Oh, yeah. That's some cool stuff. Now, this is on Marvel's website, so if you want to look at that, yeah. They also teased a new Star Wars Jedi Knight one. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, coming to PC in January. Let's see. Cold Day in Hell, Daredevil. Charles Soule and Steve McNiven's dark future epic Daredevil Cold Day in Hell begins in April. Ooh, that's actually two pretty good ones there. Will mark McNiven's first major Marvel Comics work in nearly a decade. Joining him is no stranger to Hell's Kitchen, Charles Soule, who had a classic run on Daredevil in 2015. Set in a Marvel universe future on the brink of collapse, the series introduces a grizzled, older version of Matt Murdock. Years into the future, a powerless Matt Murdock is no longer Daredevil, but he's still the man without fear, doing what he can to help those in need. In a city broken beyond repair, he'll finally be able to take the fight to where it matters most when something catastrophic happens, causing his powers to miraculously return. With no one by his side, Daredevil has little chance against the evil permeating every corner until Captain America trusts him with a mission to safeguard the world's only hope. Yay! Cap having faith in him. I know whatever idea I write is going to be executed masterfully by Steve, and that level of trust allows you to take a lot of risks, Soule said. It's been a really interesting process because the way we made it is something I wouldn't do with an artist that I didn't have this level of collaboration and trust with. We've been working on this book for 4 years, and that time has been well spent. I started out by going, why are not more people learning from Frank Miller and the storytelling he does, McNiven said. I was inspired by his work on Dark Knight Returns. To a certain degree, the structure of a 16-panel grid forces you to do different storytelling techniques. True, and that will be out on April 2024, as we see a little there. That's interesting. I have to see how that works out. This is kind of crazy. Under the whole One World Under Doom, we have Doom Academy. Starting in February, we got that. Doom Academy will be a 5-issue limited series written by author Mackenzie Cadenhead, Marvel Mutts, and drawn by Pasquale Ferry, Doctor Strange. It sees Doctor Strange School for Young Sorcerers transformed in accordance with Doom's rule. The students of Strange Academy were instrumental in Doom's bold reach for power and blood hunt, and now that he has the entire world under his mighty thumb, his influence on these breakout young Marvel heroes truly begins. Did you think that Strange Academy would be the same in the world with Doctor Doom and Sorcerer Supreme? No, it's now Doom Academy. Relocated from New Orleans to Latveria, the best magic school in the world just got better, according to some. It's the start of the second year for Strange Academy students, and you know that things will not go as planned. God almighty, Doom. I would not want to be in a Doom school. Holy shit. It was really fun to go through old Doom stories and pick out some random characters that exist in that world and find someone or someone's kid who might be attending Doom Academy, Cadenhead shared. And because the school doesn't exist, we got to really play with stuff. Pasquale is having a great time coming up with beautiful locales. Doom Academy will also feature sequences by artist Yao Lemos. In this story, Zoe ends up falling into a strange world that her friends have to help her escape from, Cadenhead explained. We have another artist coming in to illustrate this world. Yao Lemos' research on Eastern European folklore and fairy tales is astounding. Cool. That's on February 19th, and it's 1 of 5. And them being in Doom, like, oh god. Good luck to them, man. Holy fucking shit. 8 Deaths of Spider-Man got a trailer. We got Marvel's annual Women of Marvel one-shot returns in February with She-Devils. That's cool. Ooh. Let's see. Marvel Comics reveals Eddie Brock Carnage series at New York Comic Con. Let's see here. All new Venom, and now ongoing series spinning out of Venom War, Eddie Brock Carnage. Launching in February, Eddie Brock Carnage will be written by Soule, known for his acclaimed run on Star Wars, and drawn by Jesus Saez. That's cool, following his extraordinary work on recent titles like Captain America and Punisher. Set in the aftermath of Venom War, the startling saga sees longtime Venom host Eddie Brock operating as the new host of the violent and sadistic Carnage symbiote. That's not good. The series will interact with the other flagship symbiote title, All New Venom, which sees the Venom symbiote take on a yet-to-be-revealed host. Carnage is someone that has to kill, so Eddie has to feed him deaths. In order for Eddie to be okay with that, the people he feeds Carnage are serial killers, Soule explained. Carnage is also an addict, and addicts need bigger and bigger highs. I'm having a blast with this, he continued. Jesus Saez wanted to do a horror book. This is his wheelhouse. He loves creepy, organic things to draw, and I'm giving him everything he can handle. the most lethal protector of all. He's been Venom, he's been Anti-Venom, he's been the King in Black. Now Eddie Brock has made his darkest bond yet as he joins with the one and only Carnage. Can he control his new other's endless bloodlust, or will he give himself over to madness and murder? Join Eddie and Carnage on a journey into the darkest parts of the Marvel Universe with bloody death as their only guide. And then that is going to be a weird fucking change there on January 12th. So, I would almost just have rested Eddie at this point, since we're getting a new Venom, maybe just hiatus him or whatnot. There's only certain kind of characters that I would bond the Carnage symbiote to, and this could really fuck with some stuff with how that kind of works out. So hopefully it doesn't really do horrible shit to Eddie. So those are the main kind of Marvel announcements that really kind of piqued my interest. I mean, it's not much, but I mean, we usually get stuff throughout most of the year, also seeing stuff in solicitations and all that, but I am intrigued to see how One World Under Doom goes. I'm interested that they're doing a Doom Academy. That sounds fucking insane. And Eddie and Carnage, that could either be really good or produce some really fucking horrendous shit. And I'm not saying that the writer and artist are going to just immediately shit it or anything like that, but it could lead to some things where you're like, that doesn't work, like Spider-Man making a deal with the devil. There's certain things you just don't have certain characters do. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what kind of goes on with it. Let's look at this. So let's get to DC stuff. DC talking about All In, their Absolute Universe, and all that kind of stuff here. Let's see. We got Absolute stuff. Okay, it's evidently been an unqualified success or whatnot. Adding a second wave of titles of Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Green Lantern, and Absolute Flash. See how that kind of works for them. Return of Aquaman and the rise of the Fractal Lanterns. Evidently, Aquaman's getting a series power upgrade, something about events of absolute power, and they'll come in handy as they'll fight giant water-based kaiju constructs appearing throughout the Seven Seas while investigating the secrets of the Blue with Dagon, a guide from Aquaman's past. Holy shit. With Hal Jordan and the reconstructed Green Lantern's Corps, they have to deal with fractal lanterns, beings that manifest uncontrolled parts of the emotional spectrum appearing throughout the universe and threatening the very essence of sentient life. That sounds like that's going to be really interesting stuff to kind of dive into with the Green Lanterns. Justice League Atom Project by John Ridley and Ryan Parrott, with art by Mike Perkins. That's going in January 1st. Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi. The hero is called Atom, working with newly reformed Justice League to bring order to chaos, restoring and backing up the superpowers of DC superheroes following their battle with Amanda Waller. But not everyone wants their powers back. One hero will do whatever it takes to make sure his abilities are never found. Captain Atom. Oh shit. We're also getting a Lex Luthor special. Let's see. During the battle of the House of Brainiac, Lex Luthor's memories were wiped clean. But following the DC All-In special, the world needs him to remember his past. There's a key piece of information in Lex's past that could unlock an epic mystery plaguing Superman and the Justice League, but Lex may not want to remember. It's up to the Man of Steel to decide if the info is worth sacrificing Lex's newfound peace in the return of his fiercest enemy. That is actually a very good conflict for both Lex and Superman to have. Is that information important enough to get him back on the board as an asshole? We have previews for Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. I mean, shit. I've been reading a little bit of certain kind of things, and we've got a new Batmobile that can, like, blast some fucking shit. That's gnarly looking art. And we get some crazy ass looking stuff with Ultimate Wonder Woman as well, if it'll focus and not freak out. And they're talking about character designs and how some of the accoutrements of Diana's all-in counterpart will be different across the series. And we get Absolute Superman, written by Jason Aaron, and it shares his kind of plans, working with Rafa Sandoval. And let's see here. Superman looks different with his kind of suit. It's like, okay, let's see what goes on here. And Aaron being familiar with Superman characters and how they'd be different for this series compared to their all-in counterparts, and how Superman would be a symbol of hope, and whether this version of Superman will be the same in a world where hope may be in short supply. Let's see. We're getting JSA, as well as Absolute Flash. That's actually a really cool cover there. Justice Society of America. And then Absolute Flash. Damn. That's crazy. And they're doing Wally West for it. And bringing absolute versions of Captain Cold and Captain Boomerang. We've got, of course, the new gods and everything going on. Talking in the panel about Jack Kirby's iconic Fourth World. And we also get some kind of art there that works and looks pretty damn good. It's like, okay, we'll see how that cosmic stuff kind of works up. Al Ewing doubles down with 2 DC all-in series. God damn. So he's making his debut with Metamorpho, the Element Man series. That's kind of crazy. Green Lantern, of course, will also join the DC Absolute line in March of 2025, and Ewing also spoke about collaborating with artist Yanoi Lindsay on Absolute Green Lantern. As the audience got another exclusive reveal of art by the series artist Lindsay, Ewing revealed how Absolute showrunner Scott Snyder convinced him to become a part of the Absolute showrunner Scott Snyder convinced him to become a part of the Absolute universe, how the series will follow the same aesthetic of the other Absolute titles like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and that members of the Green Lantern Corps will appear in the series in addition to Joe Mullion, and what kind of story readers can expect. Ooh, interesting. Wonder Woman and the Birth of Trinity. For more than a year, Tom King has been building up to the birth of Trinity, and readers who picked up this week's Wonder Woman 14 witnessed the event in a beautiful scene reminiscent of Diana's own birth. King joined the panel along with his series artist to talk about Trinity's evolution from toddler to teen, working with Sam Pree on the final panel of the issue, and how much the characters changed from what he originally envisioned. It's like, damn! It's kind of cool for them to kind of talk about that kind of stuff. Justice League Unlimited. Fucking Detective Chimp. Many Deaths of Doomsday. With adapting to the new state of the world, how their new take on Lois Lane as Superwoman is different from previous ones, and how Lois's relationship with Superman helps to mold the story he's telling with Mora. It's like, okay, definitely be interesting to see how they kind of deal with that. Action Comics kind of dealing with Mon-El and everything like that. And then that's pretty much it with this one. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League. What the fuck? That's an interesting kind of anime thing. I wish that it were easier to get things kind of linked up for this stuff. But that's kind of the stuff that I'm seeing on DC's website. If there are things that I have missed, let me know. Let me know what you guys are excited for. I mean, I looked at Marvel's website for certain kind of things. There could have been other kind of comic announcements or whatnot, but I'm really excited to see what's going on for both Marvel and DC. Even though I'm more into reading and reviewing the Marvel ones, that doesn't mean that I think that DC is bad. I think they've got some interesting stuff going on with the Absolute Universe, and all in and kind of doing their kind of shakeup and seeing what kind of goes on with DC. Marvel, I'm really interested in to see what Doom's going to be fucking doing, because it's been a little bit since we've had like a Dark Reign kind of thing going on. I mean, we've also had the incursions and everything by Hickman, but it'll be interesting to see how this kind of goes on over the whole kind of Marvel universe, with Doom being like, I'm the Emperor, bitch, and what kind of works out with that kind of stuff. The Eddie Brock thing, I'm just mainly going to be keeping an eye on. Well, the Eddie stuff and the all-new Venom. The Eddie one, I'm like, okay, that can be a good idea if it's executed well. It's like, So there's a lot of kind of interesting stuff. Tell me what I kind of missed, what you're excited for, what you're kind of thinking. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.